This tiny review contains huge spoilers. What's going on, y'all? Brotha Doug here. Just got back from my little bro from seeing Ant-Man. And I gotta say, man, that movie was just incredible. Incredible. So before I get on with the full-scale review, I'll just say from the get-go, I wasn't feeling the Ant-Man movie. I'm like, come on, Marvel has a giant catalog of heroes that they could have used before him. But seeing as though he was one of the founding members of Avengers, I thought, okay, they probably might squeeze him in somehow. But I didn't think he'd get his own solo movie. But I'm glad he got his own solo movie. So this movie was originally going to be written and directed by Edgar Wright, who directed Scott Pilgrim and a bunch of other Simon Pegg movies. But he had a falling out with Kevin Feige, Disney, and a few other studio heads about the direction he was going with his movie. So ultimately, he left. Creative differences. That's the main term directors use. Well, anyone uses in Hollywood when they don't come to a certain agreement with whomever. But at least the cast didn't leave. So I read a prequel comic a couple weeks ago, an Ant-Man prequel comic for the movies. Hank Pym originally donned the suit. He was working with Shield. Agent Carter and Tony's daddy, Howard Stark. Doing little missions. Taking out Hydra agents and whatnot. But it was still cool to see some kind of connection that Hank Pym did don, the Ant-Man suit. Speaking of Ant-Man, Hank Pym, Michael Douglas was awesome. No relation. Yeah, he was. It's just really amazing. They had a leaked Lego set where they had old Hank Pym in a an Ant-Man suit. I thought that was going to be like a potential scene in the movie. They trolled us. Legos. Hope Van Dyne. Originally Janet Van Dyne, the original Wasp, but I'll get to that in a minute. Surprisingly, the supporting cast are pretty cool. You had T.I., Michael Pena, and some other guy. Even Woody Harris and Bobby Cannavale, playing the blockhead cops. Even the Corey Stoll. A lot of people, the main complaint about these Marvel movies is they don't have a significant villain aside from Loki and Ultron. But nobody claims Loki now because Loki's sort of an anti-hero. He has villainous schemes, but, he's still doing good. In Thor 2, he helped his brother, right? And he plays a potential role in Infinity War. Supposedly, he's taking Doctor Doom's spot. And as you all know, if you read Infinity Gauntlet arc, Loki, Doom, helps the Avengers take down Thanos. And since Doctor Doom is owned by Fox, that's why Loki steps in. And even on some of the comics I've read recently, Loki, little young Loki, the kid Loki is, a good guy. Back to the villain talk. I saw some of the schemes that he had, a mile away. Like he said in the movie when Hank Pym punched him, he was like, "Oh, I saw it coming a mile away." Well, so do we as the audience. I kind of knew that he knew that Hope was at the house, that he knew everything about Scott Lang. He knew everything from the get-go, the plan to, rob the suit, the Yellow Jacket suit. But he was still kind of harsh, though, really trying to shrink lambs. Some people in the audience are saying that, too, like, "Aw," when the little lamb came out. So here comes my favorite part. My favorite part happened to be a fight between one of the Avengers. So I'll get to more about that, the Avengers talk, in a minute. But I want to talk about this part. When Ant-Man fought Falcon. Now, one, I went into this movie spoiler free. Usually y'all know me, I'm always creeping up on spoilers, trying to find what's hot. But I was really surprised. I was like, oh, Falcon's in the movie. Because during one of the scenes, Ant-Man had to break into the Avengers facility to get like a little device or whatever. And lo and behold, Falcon shows up. I thought it was going to be Cap or somebody because, Hope was like, hey, there's incoming. I was like, wait, incoming? I was like, oh, okay. First off, something was flying, like a little object was flying. I thought it was the Quinjet or something. That fight was funny. So I didn't really catch any of the Easter eggs, but I did catch one thing during the end when when Louise is explaining, that Falcon is looking for Ant-Man. One of the girl mentions, a few other people with powers, like guy who turns green, a guy who does something else, and a guy who crawls up buildings. I'm like, they done did it. They done confirmed it. Spider-Man. He's officially in the MCU. So you can already tell that Ant-Man 2 is going to be part of Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Ant-Man 2 is going to introduce Hope wearing the Wasp suit. Oh, speaking of the original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, she was in this movie for a little brief cameo, taking down a missile. All right, so back to Falcon. So Falcon is looking for Ant-Man because apparently during one of the after credit scenes, it coincides with Civil War, and I guess I don't really know what's going on with Civil War, story wise, but apparently they need Scott Lang to do something for him. So I think Ant-Man takes place in between Civil War. Man, I just pray to the Lord above that Black Panther is as good as this movie and Guardians, because Black Panther's unknown to the mainstream audience, just like Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man himself. And look how these movies turning out. However, if you all don't know, Ava DuVernay was originally going to direct the movie, but she left because, she didn't really leave. She was accepted, but then declined the offer because apparently she told people in Essence Fest in New Orleans during the segment, someone asked her a question about Black Panther, how's that coming along? And she said they wanted her to tone down the Afrocentric background of Black Panther and his political endeavors. Like, that's what makes T'Challa. Like, y'all didn't sugarcoat Thor. Why sugarcoat Black Panther? But I'm still reserving judgment, because, BP is my favorite superhero, so. But after watching Ant-Man today, I have faith they'll do right. So overall, I'm gonna be honest with you. I liked it better than Avengers 2. So Ant-Man gets a 5 out of 5. So usually when I do these comic book movie reviews, I throw out suggestions of what comics to pick up. I guess this is a time where things go in reverse. You guys can suggest Ant-Man comics to me. I know that the real Ant-Man, Hank Pym, he's a woman beater. So you know what? Tell me your favorite part. Leave suggestions in the comments below. If you liked the video, share the video, subscribe, and like always, y'all, deuces. And I think I got a shrink app on my phone. Let me see. Oh yeah, let me try this button. Hey, can somebody help me? I'm down here. Hey, I'm getting into a fist fight with the roly poly.